and it's a matter of record. The first Negro to be appointed in Manhattan, and the first under the Greater New York Charter. Prior to that, there had been Negroes on the force in Brooklyn. That was June 28th, 1911. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? So, this video I'm doing today is in honor of the great, the legendary Samuel J. Battle. This was the first black police officer officially hired by the NYPD. As he said, there were prior black police officers in New York, but in Brooklyn prior to Brooklyn PD merging with NYPD. He was also the first black police officer to reach the rank as sergeant under the NYPD and the first black parole commissioner under NYPD. The interview that I'm reading from is a transcribed interview that Patrolman John Kelly did with him in New York. So these are his own words, and I quote, "That day I was appointed, there was no problem, excepting that as I left headquarters, the commissioner told me I was appointed and talked to me personally. And he said to me that he was proud to know that I was a New York City policeman. You will have some difficulties, but I know you will overcome them." When I left there, I went by the Grand Central Terminal, where I had worked as a red cap. I was a red cap as of then, and I went in to see the station master. And all the boys, all the red caps stopped carrying the bags. Things were all tied up for a while to see this first black policeman in Greater New York. I didn't have a uniform then. That was the first day of my appointment. I still had to go to training school. You still wouldn't have your uniform till after your 30 days were up. You'd stay in your civilian clothes, but the word had spread around. People had known me at Grand Central for about 7 years when I left there. I was there then as an assistant chief of red caps, and probably would have been chief. The salary as a red cap was $32.10 a month, and I was saving $300 a month. I was making $300 or $400 a month as a red cap. I knew everybody, the president, the governor, and all the society people. I went to training school in civilian clothes. They were all rookies like myself. I didn't run into discrimination. But after the 30-day training period, I was assigned to a precinct and finally landed in West 68th Street, and things began to perk up. I thought I was going there and would be received like I had been at the training school, but no. Not one patrolman said hello to me. I got the silent treatment. My superior officers were extremely nice to me. Big, thick Irishmen. They were supposed to be tough, but they were all very nice to me. But of course, I did my duty and I was careful. I tried to help other policemen, my brother officers, and be nice to them and not make any trouble. I was living then at 27 West 136th Street. You ask about Harlem in 1910. All of 8th Avenue was Irish, and 7th Avenue was a mixture of Irish and Jewish. 137th Street to 140th Street, any place below 133rd Street was Irish, German, and Italian. One thing I should never forget, the Irish boys on 8th Avenue wouldn't let the other races come on 8th Avenue at all. It was forbidden ground to them. Up here at 142nd Street and 9th Avenue, we had the Canary Island Gang, composed of Irish. They were tough boys. Of course, after I became a policeman, I didn't have any trouble with them because we used to have our nightsticks. I used to like to fight. I was strong and healthy. During those early years, it was a transition period, whites to Negroes. There were houses where Italians, Jewish, and Irish lived, but they let the colored people in if they paid more money. Still, the places were deteriorating because they didn't make the money that they had been making, and a lot of people got wealthy as a result. I saw that transition. The West 68th Street precinct took in 59th to 86th Street, Central Park west of the river. That was the San Juan Hill area, just west of Amsterdam Avenue. Just west of Amsterdam Avenue was mostly Negro. East of Amsterdam Avenue was generally Irish. South of 65th Street, it was a mixture but generally Irish. The Negroes lived, as I say, on the west side and down the hill from Amsterdam Avenue. There is still a hill there now. When you get up on a level ground on the east side of Amsterdam Avenue, it's level ground. So San Juan Hill was named that in connection with the battle in the Spanish-American War. So that when these Negroes come into the West, they dubbed it San Juan Hill because they used to come up the hill after the whites. They had riots, many riots. There were riots in 1911 to 1912 when I was working there. I was on reserve one particular night. We had wagons to carry us, to transport us to places we went on reserve, but this was so nearby I didn't wait. I dressed quickly and was running down Amsterdam Avenue. I was in training and a good runner, and going fast. When I passed the firehouse, I heard a fireman said, "There goes Battle, he's in the lead." I went on down and we got there with my squad. The whites and Negroes were battling. I saw the white cops beating up the colored people, and I thought, here's my chance to get even with them. I saw them whipping black heads, and I was whipping white heads. I'll never forget that. We quelled it. We didn't make any arrests, because in those days, you didn't have to. Today, you'd be forced to arrest a lot of people to prevent them from taking civil action. What was the cause? Just interracial conflicts. They'd sometimes start a fight over a crap game or anything, just some little things like that. One will start a fight, and then they'll all get together and you have a riot as a result. The result was that this didn't happen anymore. Then in 1913, when I was transferred to Harlem, I found that, of course, the white officers worked in the all-Negro neighborhood practically, and they needed me as much as I needed them. And sometimes more, because some of them were on posts where they were all Negroes. Then, too, this story had gone out that he's a decent fellow, and they began to treat me nicely and spoke to me and asked me to join the organizations. Things of that kind.